Good morning, guys. Well, we are on another adventure. We are in Shawnee National Park. This is the Garden of the Gods, is what they call this section of the park. It's a huge section of the park, but a section of the park. Nonetheless, today has been it's been quite a trip. Let's just say that in many ways. This place is actually 7 hours from where I live. It's like 6 hours really, but with the bathroom stops and the gas stops, it's about 7 hours. Plus, I didn't know where I was going. This place, unfortunately, when you look at their website, they don't have an address. They don't list an address. They just list the state or the city that it's in Illinois, but they don't have a concrete address for this location. And so it's been a bit of a headache trying to find this place. I did receive something of an address from a young lady that I spoke with. Let me try to get this back in the holder. A young lady that I spoke with from the website who dug up some kind of address, which turns out to be the address for the administrative offices for Shawnee National Park. So that's the address that I followed. But this place is still maybe 30 to 40 minutes from that administrative building. What they did have, however, were maps and literature outside of the office for people to take. And so I grabbed the sheet that said the Garden of the Gods, and I followed the little directions that they have on the back or on the front. Now, mind you, again, I'm 7 hours away from home. I am completely unfamiliar with this area. So the streets and the directions that they give you is like Chinese, because I have no idea where these streets are or how to locate them. But I followed the information that they gave me. Which brought me to the park, but not to where I was trying to get to, which is actually the Garden of the Gods. On their directional map, and as soon as I have an opportunity to pull over, I will show you. On the directions that they gave me, one of the streets that I'm supposed to turn on does not exist. Does not exist. And I drove up and down the one street that I was able to find at least 3 times, 10 miles in each direction, and could not find this street that they say I'm supposed to go to and then turn. So it was very frustrating. I had this great idea to come out here at about 2 o'clock this morning. I woke up from taking a nap, and I said, let me take out my garbage and let me jump in my vehicle and go and get some gas, because I had not gassed up. Okay. Carber's Ridge Road is the road that is in front of us. And this is the road that I was on. And this road, unfortunately, does not have an entrance. There's nowhere I can pull over. Okay, hang on, guys. I know I saw a little miniature parking spot. Hang on. Let me get there so I can show you the paper map or paper directions that they gave me so that you can look at what I'm talking about. And hopefully it makes more sense to you than me trying to explain it without the illustration. So give me a few minutes to get back to that little parking spot. This is the entrance into the Garden of the Gods. And this was given to me by an innocent bystander. Somebody totally unrelated to the park. And I'll get to that in a minute. Hang on. I think I'm supposed to be doing 20 miles through here. 5 miles or something. I have no idea. I just know I'm tired. I've been driving for hours trying to get to this place, only to be frustrated for another hour before finding some civilian who could give me correct directions on how to enter this part of the park. Okay, this is the parking area. Okay, let me pull over and show you guys this. Look at the rock formations. I want to climb up on all of that. But anyway, this is the paper thing that they had at the office. And here it gives you driving directions from the office on how to get here. Now, mind you, this is, like I said, 30 to 40 minutes away from the office location. So it says from Harrisburg, take Highway I-145 south 5 miles to Highway 34. Take 34 south for 10 miles. Then turn east onto Carber's Ridge Road. That's the road you guys just saw. So I drove an additional 2.5 miles on Carber's Ridge Road looking for Forest Road. Forest Road does not exist. Either they changed the name and they never updated their information, both in their system and on these little paper forms, but Forest Road does not exist. And that's where our problem was. I drove up and down Carber's Ridge Road, like I said, 10 miles in both directions, and could not find an entrance, a turnoff that said Forest Road. So I pulled into it's like a little diner or a little shack or something where they sell hot dogs and ice cream cones and souvenirs and all of that kind of stuff for the park. And it's under the Garden of the Gods label. So I pulled in there to try to ask directions of somebody. Now, all this week and last week, I have been struggling with my sciatica flaring up again. So it's been difficult for me to walk, to sit, to stand for long periods of time. It's been a struggle. Even this drive out here was torturous. It started out good. When I got out of my bed to take out the garbage and go get gas, I was walking normal and I felt kind of okay. But probably about 4 hours into this, yeah, my legs were ready to be ripped off at the seams. Seriously, my butt and my legs were ready to go. So one of those gas stops that I made to gas her up, I went inside and I asked the young lady if they had any pain pills, any kind of, Excedrin or Advil or whatever. And I grabbed a box of those. There were three tablets in the package, and I took them all. I took them all. Yeah, because this pain is no joke. I would definitely not wish this on anybody, not even my worst enemy. Back pain, back related pain is some serious stuff. But anyway, I'm saying that to say I had to get out of my truck to walk up to this place. Now, in the parking lot was another car. Well, two cars. One was empty, and the other one had two people sitting in it. And I'm assuming that one of the two people that was sitting in the car belonged to the empty car. And I'll tell you why I believe that later. So there were two people sitting in a vehicle inside the parking lot, car running, and I'm struggling to get up to the front door so that I can make an inquiry about how to get into this park, only to find out that the place is closed. Now, these two people sat in their vehicle and watched me struggle all the way up to that door, knowing that the place wasn't open. And yet they said not one word. When I turned around to come back, they were looking dead in my face and still didn't say a word as I struggled to get back to my vehicle. Yeah. So needless to say, I was not going to approach either one of those people, because if you're that evil, then I don't want anything to do with you. So I drove around again, hoping to find someone else I can ask about this location and how to get into this park. And thankfully, there was a young man coming out of one of the cabins. And so I pulled into his cabin driveway, and he came out of the cabin, and I asked him, about how to get in here. He was very, very, very nice, very helpful. We talked for a little bit after that about camping in general, and he, just kind of described what this place offers. He says he's been here a million times, and, if this is my first time coming, I'm going to love it. And he was like, you're smart to come and, scout it out first. And yeah, so the directions that he gave me in order to get in here look nothing like this. Mention none of this crap that they have on this thing. So prior to me pulling into his driveway, into the cabin driveway where he was staying, I stopped back at that little shack where they had the hot dogs and the hamburgers and ice cream bars or whatever, souvenirs. And the two people were still sitting in the car. So at this time, I picked up my phone and I went to call the number that is at the bottom of this sheet. And of course, this is Sunday. It's actually Super Bowl Sunday. So no one's in the office. No one answered, but I got a voicemail. I got an answering machine or message, and had the opportunity to leave a message about this situation. And for them to simply just update their information, or do better at giving directions on how to get in here. Because people who aren't familiar with this area, aren't familiar with this park, they're going to get lost. And the guy that I was talking to said the exact same thing. He was like, people get lost in here all the time. Get lost coming out here all the time. And I see why. There's no address, number one. And then the directions that you give are faulty. They're outdated or something. This Forest Road, either, like I said, either they've changed the name and just have not updated it on their website or on their forms. But how do you expect people to come and patronize your establishment or facility, or I don't know what you call this, your park, if they can't find out how to get in here? It's ridiculous. So anyway, so I stopped back at the shack to call to see if I could get in touch with somebody. And like I said, the two people who were sitting in a car were still sitting there. But as I'm leaving a voicemail message, I noticed in my rear view mirror, they exited the vehicle and walked up to the front door and opened it and went in. So that's why I said they knew that the place was closed, because they worked there. They worked there. There's a slightly older woman and a younger guy. They worked there. And I guess they were just sitting outside talking or whatever, waiting for the hour for the business to open up. So when they saw me walking across the parking lot, like I said, you would think one of them would have rolled down the window, opened the door or something and said, "Hey, ma'am, we're not open yet." Or, we open at, this time or something. No, they sat there and watched me hobble to the front door and hobble back and said absolutely nothing. And even when I came back, you think one of them would have approached approached me in the vehicle and said, "Hey, we're open now," or "We're about to open," or nothing. Nothing. So yeah, people are something real special in this world. They absolutely are. But like I said, thankfully, this young man gave me the correct information to get in here, because I would have been highly, and I do mean highly on an astronomical level, highly ticked off, having driven 7 hours to get out here and can't even find the entrance into the park. Now, don't get me wrong, there are several other entrances to the park, but they're specific parts of the park. Like I said, this is the Garden of the Gods. There's a youth camp. There's some other, like two other areas. Yeah, this is the part of the park. This is the area that I wanted to camp in. And I think this is the only area that has camping, if I'm not mistaken. So even though the other parts of the park are there, this is the relevant part for me, because I'm looking to camp. So needless to say, we are here, thank goodness. And so now I'm going to go check out the camping sites. From what I've been told, you can't make a reservation, which sucks, because I want to be here for at least probably 12 days, or at least a week. And so again, I don't want to play this game of packing up all my stuff, driving 7-8 hours to get here, and there's no campsite available. Then I'm going to have to burn down this whole forest. Because, yeah. I'm going to have to burn down every stick and brick, because y'all made me drive all the way out here with the hopes of getting a campsite, and no, we can't have that. I think I was supposed to read that sign, Sherry. Back her up, baby girl. What that sign say? What it say? Observation trail, picnic, and camping. All right, that's what we want. Thank you. Yeah, so here we are. cannot make a reservation but the sights, the views are spectacular from what I hear. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to come here, and I wanted this to be my first camping trip of the season, is because this is supposed to be a very grand park as far as sights and observations, trees and wildlife and all of that. And I think they have a few activities too that you can be a part of, horse riding and whatnot, rock formations, and yeah, it's all kinds of stuff you can see here. Hiking trails. Okay, what do we have here? What does that sign say? Main parking, observation trail, picnic and camping that way. All right, so we are going that way. It's one of the porta potties and dumpster. And they're unisex. Oh, that's a nice little view over there. I'm liking it already, y'all. Liking it already. There's no electric. There's no electric hookups. There are no showers, no water. It is very, very primitive camping only. Which is fine because I have my own portable shower. I can bring one way. I can bring my shower set up. And I do have my own portable power system. So my lights are solar anyway, so I don't need any hookup for those. I do need electric for my inflatables. And like I said, I do have my portable power source, so Faro Campground. So these guys, all right, I'm gonna pull over and walk it. This is the first site. I'm gonna walk it so you guys can see it better. I don't know if there's multiple campsites here or if this is the only one. Okay, so this is number 1. Of course. So you got a rock, you got a hawk flying overhead. Got trees. You got the fire pit, picnic table. I like this one because of the observation deck of sorts back here. See the hawk? So that's campsite number 1. Let's walk down to this one. Let's see. This one there. That one is number 2. And this one is number 3. What I do like about these sites is that they're nicely spaced out. They're not right on top of each other. That's 1 over there, 2 over there, 3 over here. Yeah. So far, I like number 1 for the observation deck. This one is number 4. Looks like they each have a rock. Fire pit and a picnic table. Those are all of the amenities you get. I do like that they have trees that are a little bit close together, which would be perfect for my hammock. So this one is number 5. Let's see if this one has an observation deck. See, for me, it's always thinking ahead to my tent setup and how I would do it. I would have to move that table, but I see that it's chained, so you can't move it. Or you can't move it far. I would probably put it over there and put my tents here. And I guess I could put my tents there. This one's got a little path that leads to the back also. Let's see what it looks like behind this one. Oh. Gotta be careful on these rocks and these branches, or what do you call them? Roots coming up out of the ground. Yeah, this one isn't as nice of an observation deck as the first one. But if you go through here, you probably get a better view. But let's keep in order of the campsites so that you guys can see them all. And of course, the ones on the other side there don't overlook anything. It's just forest back beyond. I mean, you can see the mountains in the distance. And this site, well, I guess this is how you would come in. You're next to the pit toilets, but not right up on them. This is number 6. You got a longer drive in. Let's see what It's overlooking back here, if anything. And it looks like a little road. I heard something squawk. Yeah. Either it's a walking trail or I don't know if that's a driving trail that people can drive through. This is number 6, next to the pit toilets and the dumpster in front, which is convenient for throwing away your garbage, but I don't know if it's convenient for anything else. And so, this one, number 7. It's across from the pit toilets.
Yeah.
I know, right? Oh. Finally.
Yeah.
Hi, puppy.
You gonna say hi?
Boy or girl?
Boy.
Oh,
his name's Wrigley.
He's beautiful.
Thank you.
How old?
He's gonna be 7 this year.
Hi. Say hi to my audience. He's a beauty. Is this your only puppy?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, one's enough. He's a one-owner dog.
You're showing your belly. You're showing your belly.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, you guys camp out here all the time?
We're in the RV.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's your first time or
First time
one of many? Okay.
Yeah, I was here. What? New Year's? Oh, 3 years ago now.
Yeah. Was it really like full back then, or?
No, I think me and one other person were here.
Okay.
A lot of visitors today, during the day.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was warmer too.
Yeah.
We had a nice patch of weather there for a couple of days, and I just decided to come up here and try it for New Year's.
Yeah. So far, it's beautiful. I've heard a lot about this park, so I said, let me come out here and check it out. I'm scouting it out.
The trails down there?
No, not yet. I wanted to check out the campsites because I'm planning to do a camping trip, so I wanted to come out and take a look at it beforehand because I didn't want to be disappointed like I've been with some of the other state parks or camp locations that I've made reservation for and then get there and find out that they're nothing like what I was told they were supposed to be.
This is a pretty nice place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat it. They got water up there. So,
yeah.
You pump it out of the ground. It's kind of a different, and then they got the vault toilets.
What kind of activities do they have here, if any? I see there's horse trails, so you can ride horses.
There's horse trails, but they don't have horses.
You have to bring your own.
Well, yeah, or you go to one of these stables.
Okay.
And they'll fix you up, but they generally operate on their own trail systems, or they have a stable near the trail systems within the Shawnee National Forest.
Okay.
I was a campground host, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here?
Lake Glendale, and then Bill Smith Springs, in the forestry.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so.
Do they have fishing? Is there a lake near?
By here, not that I know of in this area of the park. Like, I know there's plenty of lakes and streams to fish.
Mm-hmm.
If you get on Google Maps, you can pretty much find a lake.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask, say somebody that's sitting down at a table for breakfast, at one of these stores, you just ask, hey, where's the best fishing holes?
Yeah, yeah.
I've heard, like Lake Glendale, I was a host there, and I tried fishing several times, and I think I caught a bass that was about that big, And then there was a lake
Okay.
I caught a bass about that big out of it.
Wow.
That was catching lake.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's lots of little hidden ponds
Mm-hmm.
that they might be no bigger than an acre,
Okay.
and they'll pull a 12-pound catfish.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Once the streams, well, like after a good rain like we had a couple days ago,
Mm-hmm.
if it's warmer weather, you'll get fish that go from one place to another, and then they get trapped in these little like I call 'em
Pockets.
tidal pools.
Yeah,
pockets.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you can take a hike and go 3 miles into the woods and find one of those little pockets,
Mm-hmm.
And dip your line in and catch something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then pitch a tent and eat it.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
one of the best fishing poles I heard was there's the River to River Trail,
Okay.
and this guy and his buddy took a hike and did the trail, but they camped at the top of this cliff overseeing a valley, and like they're 3 miles in off one of the trailheads, right?
Okay.
3 miles into the woods, and there's a pond that he said was the best fishing he's ever like done in his life.
Wow.
And they fished that and ate their fish as they camped there, and then
Okay.
they went about their way on the trail. But little stories like that, you hear them all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So as far as activities, I mean, they've got the hiking, and then they had kind of bring your own stuff in mountain biking.
Mm-hmm.
They have plenty of biking trails. Some of the trails here aren't for that, but they'll mark them.
Okay. Okay. I have a YouTube channel. I'm recording you so that my viewers can get this information also. Yeah. So they're gonna come out here with me when I come to camp, but I wanted to scout it out, like I said, first to
Look,
find.
I've been here several times. And
Okay.
I just, there's a nature trail that takes you by the rock formations.
Okay.
So like all this used to be a mile underwater, or thousands of feet underwater a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like 200 or 300 million years ago.
Mm.
So there's a rock formation that I must have been here like 5-6 times and done that trail.
Okay.
And I just saw that they call it the Devil's Smokestack, which is basically like a 30-foot high pylon
Huh.
that was formed by the water. It just kind of ate away the limestone or the sandstone and
Okay.
left this like a smokestack like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Except it's a rock formation.
Wow.
Now, you'd expect to see stuff like that in Arizona, Utah, or out west, but all that area down there is just carved out by the waters that were here millions and millions of years ago.
Okay.
I hadn't seen that yet. And I'm like, hey, bud, we got to stop. I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, wow, I've heard a lot about it. No, how come I haven't ever seen it?
Right.
So there's these little surprises you can return,
Yeah.
and you're like, you get a
Something
surprise
new every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do they have, well, I'd have to find some kind of lake to do any kind of boating or paddling or anything like that. Do they have, like,
How much water do you want?
big or small? It doesn't matter.
Okay. They have private campgrounds in the area.
Okay.
They have little, I call them ponds, and they might be, 10, 20-acre lakes.
Okay.
They'll rent kayaks and paddle boats. The forestry itself at Lake Glendale, when the season's open,
Uh-huh.
which I think it starts in the end of May,
Okay.
they'll rent
That's
paddle
when I'm
boats
looking
over
to
the
camp.
beach. But that lake is maybe, 40 to 100 acres, somewhere in there.
Okay.
If you want, like a real water experience, I would start up by Marion and Carbondale, that area. That's where the Crab Orchard Lake is. That's separate from the forestry. This is run by the USDA.
Okay.
That's run by the Conservation
Okay.
Department.
Okay.
So if you go up there, you can rent kayaks, but you'll pay for it. The best thing to do is get your own kayak or a raft.
Yeah.
So that lake is what, I think, 100 or so miles of, lake shore around it.
Mm-hmm.
But There's several. It's like a little chain of lakes.
I've been there.
Okay.
That's
So
where I was at last summer for my camping.
I haven't been there forever.
Yeah.
But you know, those lakes up by Marion, Carterville, Carbondale, those are the real lakes.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah.
if you go north of that, you have Rend Lake, which is like a large reservoir. And I mean, you know, you get a canoe and you can actually pack in a tent and find places to camp on little islands and stuff like that. Not that I don't. You'd have to check and see if that's legal or not. Some places allow it, some places don't.
It's all primitive, I'm assuming.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but and that's the Army Corps of Engineers that runs Rend Lake.
Okay.
So, I mean, within a radius of say 75 miles from here, going north and just all the way around, there's just all kinds of water activity, water sports, recreational opportunities.
Now, I've seen quite a few other parks or like campsites on my way here. I drove 7 hours to get here. I'm not from this
you
area.
from?
I'm from Glen Ellen.
Lyle.
Okay.
Okay. But,
Yeah.
yeah, 7 hours. You drove slow.
I had stops. I had
Okay.
bathroom stops and gas stops. Yeah, I think Google says it's about 5.5 hours to 6 hours.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but with the stops, it was, well, no, let me take that back. We had a little bit of a hiccup finding this place because there's no address on the website. And the little map that they give us at the Shawnee Park District Administrative Office gives you directions on how to get here from there, but they're not correct. So I had to stop someone out here and ask directions. One of the guys over at one of the cabins gave me directions here, and it was completely different from what was on the paper.
Do you get a cell signal?
I do. I've got one now.
Yeah. If you download, if you don't get a signal, there's places in the forest you lose your signal, or at least I do. Offline maps on Google, you can actually download an offline map and get a whole map of the area. So if you lose your signal, you just, hit your maps with the offline service, and it acts like a GPS, and it'll get you anywhere in the park. Now, if you punch in Garden of the Gods, it'll take you right here. But, like, you wouldn't know this is Faro Campground, right?
Right.
So if you have Garden of the Gods, it'll take you to the trailhead, but it won't show you where the campground is. But it is so detailed on maps, it will take you there if you know the name of the exact location.
Yeah, and I think that's the name that the gentleman gave me, but that's not on the information from the office, and that makes no sense to me. And he said that. He said several people have gotten lost trying to get here. And I'm like, why do they make it so hard for people? Well, if they don't have an address, update your information on how to get here. Because obviously,
I travel all this way. I have like 2 days.
Oh my,
work, and I can't find.
I was highly ticked off. Believe me, I was highly upset. I'm like, oh no, we're going to find this place.
I first got familiar with this place back in 2017 when I came down here for the eclipse. So I was invited, right? Somebody says, yeah, the eclipse. I'm like, what? Eclipse? Usually I know that stuff. Well, I'm up in Chicago, in Lyle.
Okay.
And I had rehabbed somebody's RV,
Okay.
It's been a week doing it.
Yeah.
They're preparing for the eclipse down in Carbondale. And he invites me along, and I'm like, well, I guess, I owed him a trip. I just got him, and he was around for like a week.
Okay.
While I'm laboring away on this camper, just chained up, and every 2 hours I take him for a little walk,
Yeah.
I'm like, buddy, I owe you a trip to the, to the parks. We're gonna enjoy the weekend.
Absolutely.
We shot down here, and I picked up some welding goggles, to watch the eclipse. That was like the last one they had. Everybody's buying, welding goggles.
Right.
And we got down here at like you said, 7 hours. and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like winded, you know,
Mm-hmm.
wasted.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything about the area. So I parked on this gravel access road that the forestry uses,
Right.
unauthorized.
Right.
And I just closed my eyes, and it was like 2 hours later at the break of dawn. I'm like, I gotta get, you know, out of here before they give me a ticket.
Right.
You know, on trespassing.
Right.
Well, I ended up about 1.5 miles from this little campground called Devil's Kitchen Campground,
Okay.
which has showers, and they had, past tense, a marina there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they used to have a concessionaire, and it used to be a big deal about 34
Yeah.
years ago. Well, since they've closed the marina and it's all kind of gone to crap,
Mm-hmm.
except for the shower house and the campground they have. It's primitive tent camping, no hookups,
Okay.
and there's like 8 sites, right? And then they have a shower house up the road with warm water, you know. We end up like 1.5 miles from this place. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many people know about it. I guess the name scares people away.
Yeah.
Devil's Kitchen. Well, we find this place because I got off this unauthorized gravel road,
Mm-hmm.
and I drove just about a half mile, and I saw the little sign that's got the tent.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I started following it, and the next thing you know, I'm in the campground area. I'm like, I look and see down the road, the farmer was renting just to camp.
Okay.
It was $60 a night.
Oh, wow.
You know, people were making buku money.
I believe
The
that.
parking car was like, you know, $40.
Yeah.
And there's 1 million people in Garfield. And the campground has only 2 campers. I'm like the 3rd person there.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, what do I got to pay? And the guy's like telling me, oh, it's only $10 a night. We got the showers up there. I'm like, yeah, buddy, you know. We're right on the lake.
Yeah.
You know, it's a peninsula. The campground goes out onto a peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, water?
Of course.
We stayed for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I didn't know anything about this area.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, you know, the first 3 times I tried to get from the campground to Carbondale, which is about 11 miles.
Okay.
I got lost.
Wow.
Like 5 times.
I believe it.
You know, and then finally, I didn't have any internet access, and I didn't know about the offline map option.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to Walmart. I mean, and it's like New Year's in New York at Times Square.
Yeah, I believe it.
And I'm like, I'm not leaving you in the car. It's too hot.
Right.
I took him into the store, and we're walking, getting food and grabbing stuff, and people are wanting to pet him. And I see the Walmart guy. He's like following me. And I'm like, we're just on our way out. And I rung up in the garden section to get out of there quick.
Okay.
So Devil's Kitchen ended up being his vacation for, you know, because what I owed him for being so patient
Yeah.
with me for a week. And we never hooked up with the people that invited us, but we got to see the eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, I mean, that eclipse in 2017, they had a rock concert at the SIU with
Wow.
Ozzy Osbourne, you know, and
Oh my
that was
goodness.
our first experience, and we got lost trying to leave.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm probably going to get lost trying to get out of here, but that's okay. I've got time.
Yeah, we came back about, it was 2019
Mm-hmm.
in the fall, and COVID hit,
Mm-hmm.
and they needed somebody to watch a campground because everybody else was closing down,
Mm-hmm.
and the concessionaire that ran Lake Glendale stayed open, kind of like a rule breaker, you know.
Right.
And they kept that campground open. I kept Bell's Kitchen campground open,
Mm-hmm.
and people would come out there and do their 2-week quarantine. We didn't have an empty day
Yeah.
during the whole COVID thing.
I can imagine. Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
a
I'm pretty
Haley-
sure this place was full too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't make it up this way often during COVID because I was so busy at the campground.
Right.
But they had a creek with a huge, like, Olympic-size it's about the size of an Olympic swimming pool,
Mhm.
but you can jump off the cliff. It's where the water collects,
Mhm.
and it's been a swimming hole for like a century, you know. And you would get 200 people down there on a afternoon in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the week,
I believe it.
and cars would stretch for about a mile and a half
Mhm.
on the gravel road coming out of the main parking lot
Mhm.
all the way up. So all these nature lovers that, you know, their business is shut down, the
Yeah.
restaurant shut down.
Yeah. They've got time. Yeah.
Well, they're not wearing masks.
Well, that too.
And I'm having to keep people. You know, you can't congregate,
Mhm.
let each other's campground. Yeah, it was an experience. He loved it.
Yeah.
And he was outdoors for the whole summer.
Yeah.
And then the fall, and then winter we were hosted Lake Glendale. And then we went back in the spring. And well, being we're from Chicago up in Lisle,
Mhm.
we would try to hit the city and the county parks.
Yeah.
At least every few days.
Yeah.
And we would learn the trail systems up there, and we found a good lake to kayak in, but nothing like, you know, down here.
Yeah.
You step out your door, you're like on a trail. And
Absolutely.
I can turn him loose, and he can, you know, run around for an hour and a half
Yeah.
or so. Yeah, you like it down here, don't you, buddy? But they got another eclipse coming up next year,
Okay.
so that's going to be, not as like finite as an eclipse as the last one, but it's supposed to be pretty good. And again, you're going to have a lot of people, you know, coming down here.
Oh yeah.
They had Airbnbs. People came from overseas,
Mhm.
of course, to watch the eclipse.
Mhm.
And of the millions of people here, or a million or so people, they say it was a million. Some people debate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll give it to them. I mean, people from all over the world came. And it introduced me to Southern Illinois. I mean,
Mhm.
like, this is kind of like a diamond in the rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a hidden gem.
Have you been to Eagle Creek?
No,
What about Wolf Creek?
I've heard of it.
Very nice parks. They're big, and there's a lot to see. They're picturesque, and the campsites are kind of like these where they're spread out. They're a little more secluded, but yeah, I like those two locations.
Where are those at?
They're in Windsor, Illinois, and I think they're probably about 10 miles from each other, but they're part of the same organization of parks.
And how far is that from here?
It's from here, I don't know, but from me, it's about 2.5 hours. So
And
it's not
it's
that bad.
South or
South. Yeah, south.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'll.
It's near Sheridan, Illinois. Are you
Okay.
familiar with that? Yeah.
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 I don't know if I'll make it up there this year, but I'll keep that in mind. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
If you go to Eagle Creek and reserve spot number 15. It's one of the
Eagle
best
Creek 15.
spots in the park. Yes.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might post it on my Twitter.
There you go.
Eagle Creek 15. That's the one to do.
Yes, indeedy. Yeah. So is this the only camping ground in this park, or are there more?
This is the only campground in this park.
Okay.
Part of the park.
Okay.
So this is Garden of the Gods, and you probably got, like 100 other little areas like this.
Right.
But this is the only campground here. So, I mean, if you were hiking on the nature trail, the river to river trail,
Mm-hmm.
you can access the trailhead down. There's a parking lot. You'll see it on the way in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're, 100 meters or 300 meters into the trail,
Mm-hmm.
you can pitch a tent,
Okay.
and you have to be so far off the trail.
Right.
Anywhere along the trail systems, there's places to primitive camp, but
Mhm.
there's rules. You gotta be a certain distance from
Mhm.
a parking lot, from a preserve area,
Right.
the protected areas.
Right.
But I mean, I could have parked my camper down there overnight,
Mm-hmm.
and, like slept in the parking lot, but that's for trail users,
Yeah.
So there's primitive camping. If you like that, I highly suggest going to, what is it? A lot of rock climbers go there.
Starve
Professional-
Rock?
Huh?
Starve Rock?
No. Geez, I'd have to look it up on my maps.
Huh.
It's about 30 miles from here, and it's all primitive camping. It's kind of hard to get to sometimes because the road washes away and they have to re-gravel it.
Okay. Okay.
But a lot of rock climbers go there, and that's where I did my 2-week quarantine.
Okay.
I tried it with a friend, and I tried it for 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It fail. So I'm like, I'm just going out. He's going to get some exercise. We're going to this place.
Okay.
Falls. Oh boy,
It'll come to you.
it'll come to me. Yeah.
Now, do they allow you to, I see the rock formations. Do they allow you to climb those?
Those no.
Okay.
Unless you have permission to do so.
Okay.
I think they can issue a permit for some areas.
Mm-hmm.
This one place I'm talking about, which I'm surprised the name's evading me like this, they have actual professionals that map out and chart out climbing walls, and they put it online,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a whole rating system. So it's like a canyon like this,
Okay.
but it goes for, I want to say miles.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the hardest climbing routes, is actually at this part. This part of the Shawnee National Forest. It's near Simpson, that area.
Okay.
And it was rated, it's one of the hardest, but you're like, well, something that's like on that scale, as advanced as that is, you would think that's going to be hundreds of feet tall. Like, no, it's like 100 feet maybe.
Wow.
80 to 100 feet.
Wow.
But it's just the degree of difficulty.
Right.
So people go out there and they climb, and they get the chance to say, yeah, I conquered this. And then you'll get the climbing instructors who will, go out there for a day with a student and teach, the climbing skills.
That's awesome.
I tried climbing once, and I got froze. I froze about halfway up this cliff. I was in Malibu, California, at Zuma Beach, and there's a cliff, and it's like one of the easiest. And the guy I'm with is all wiry. He's like 6'4",
Mm-hmm.
and it's maybe 60 to 70 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He does it no ropes, and just like Spider-Man, he's up it in like 10
Wow.
seconds, right?
Yeah.
And we get all the rigging out, and he's like, "This is your first time," and my feet, are in these climbing shoes that
Right.
are like a size too small,
Right.
and it feels like I've got elastic bands wrapped around my feet.
Cutting off your circulation.
Like, man, this is uncomfortable.
Right.
Then you get sand in it, and you got to take it off. Oh boy,
Yeah.
we're on the beach, and the ocean's right there. I started up this thing. I got halfway up, and I just looked down, and I was like, my legs start shaking.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't move. He goes, come on, stretch it. He told me to stretch my leg because my leg got cramped up.
Right.
I'm like, I can't take my foot off. I'll fall. No, you won't. So I took my leg, I did the stretch, took a few deep breaths, and I finished up. I was
Okay.
like, you're going to do it again, aren't you?
Nah.
Oh, well. I think I did it one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a climber,
Yeah.
but I love watching.
Yeah. Well, you did it.
Uh-oh.
He's trying to...
What's on you, buddy? I highly suggest visiting that
Hey.
Jackson Falls. There you go.
You found it. You remembered.
Jackson Falls. If you go there,
Mm-hmm.
that is like one of the most beautiful spots. to
Really?
camp. Oh,
Really?
God, yeah.
Are the campsites spread
It's all
out?
free.
Is it okay?
And people go there and they'll take boulders and they'll make their own fireplaces.
That's
They
nice.
get bored or stand there a few days.
Yeah.
I made a fireplace myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I was there for the quarantine,
Right.
But some of the sites there's one that's a little further down the road that's kind of like, I don't know, a drive-through site.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like perched on a hill, and it overlooks the valley. And there's all kinds of rock formations, and then the spring and then the fall. If it's the fall, you get the colors changing on the trees. If it's the spring, you get the green, but you can still see into the woods.
Yeah.
Most beautiful area I've ever seen in the state of Illinois.
Wow.
And there's a stream that runs through, so like you can actually get your water from the stream.
Hey.
I use a filter, but it is so beautiful out there. You get people out there who are really into nature because of the climbing opportunities. There's the trail system, natural formations out there. Most beautiful area, I highly suggest. You said Eagles Creek 14. I'm going to say Jackson Falls, halfway down the main road, the gravel road there.
Okay.
Choose one of those campsites on the right-hand side.
Okay.
And be prepared to wake up in the morning to a view. It's absolutely beautiful.
I can imagine.
It's just like if you walk along this area here.
I saw the ledge over there. Yeah.
You have the cliffs.
Yeah.
But it's not like a view like this. It's just you look down into the valley. And it's peaceful. You don't hear anything except, nature or the people that are camping nearby.
Right.
But highly suggest Jackson Falls.
Okay.
It's free, and if you stayed there, and if you're a climber, of course, you don't have to be a climber.
Yeah.
But they've got trail systems that just take you through some of the most gorgeous terrain and nature scenery you've ever experienced.
I will definitely have to check that out, for sure.
How's that sound, buddy? Yeah.
He's enjoying it.
You ready to eat?
So how long are you guys here, just for the weekend?
I was going to stay at least a day and maybe a couple, probably through the weekend.
Yeah.
I've got to decide, because there's a couple other places along here, and I wanted to be along the river, because I like the visual of the water for some reason.
Me too.
And if you go along the Ohio River, there's little nooks and crannies you can park and camp at. There's a little town called Golconda that's got a hookup, and it's right in there used to be a dam, so they have all the houses that the engineers used to live in, and they've turned it, they rent them out like bed and breakfast, except you make your own breakfast, they make your bed.
Okay.
But that park goes right along the Ohio River, and it's real scenic. I guess you see right across the way into Kentucky, or was it Indiana? I'd have to look on the map.
Okay.
We've been there once. We just didn't camp.
Okay.
He got to run around the park and without the leash on.
Yeah. I'm sure he enjoys that.
Yeah, he found the water and he went swimming in the river, and I was worried he was going to get carried away.
Oh my goodness.
He's a good swimmer.
Good boy. Yes, indeedy. All right. Well, I'm not going to hold you up, mister. It's time for your dinner. Look at you and the belly rubs.
Are you camping out here?
I will be in May. That's why I came out here to check it out.
Oh, so you're not staying here?
No. I just drove out to check out the campsite and take a look at the park a little bit. Like I said, to share it with my audience and see if I'm probably going to I can't make a reservation, but I want to be back here in May, like the end of May, and probably stay 2 weeks. Yeah.
Stay here 2 weeks? Or just in the area 2 weeks?
Here, 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll probably travel around and take a look at the rest of the park, but set up camp here for 2 weeks.
Well, maybe we'll bump into each other again.
Yeah.
What's your channel?
It's here, I'll give you the link. It's Beyond Comfort Travel Adventures.
Beyond Comfort.
Are you on YouTube?
I am sort of on YouTube. I watch YouTube. Beyond
Yeah.
Comfort Travel Adventures.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check that out. That's
Yeah.
cool. I thought about when I started off in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically in a Mitsubishi Mirage with a lot of, gear.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to do Route 66.
Okay.
I was going to bicycle Route 66
Okay.
until I got him. So I was up in Chicago doing, 5,000-10,000 miles a year on a bike, telling people I switched from Geico to Pedal Power and saved thousands. So,
Yeah.
once I got him, it was like, time to the bike, and he pulls you off the bike.
Right.
And, you're lucky you have a helmet on.
Right.
Well, we started to hike and do stuff together, and I sold the bikes and kept one because it wasn't working,
Yeah.
We were going to drive Route 66.
Yeah.
And we ended up here kind of accidentally. And, then COVID hit, and it kept us. We were tied to the area with some responsibilities. And,
Yeah.
yeah, but I still want to do Route 66. Have you ever done anything like that?
No, not yet. Are you living in your camper full time?
Right now, yeah.
I have I started the channel because I purchased a bus that I'm planning to convert into a full-time camper and travel the US and probably several other countries. So that was the whole plan.
Right.
with starting the YouTube channel. I wanted to document my journey from living in a house full-time, downsizing, purchasing the bus, converting it, and then getting on the road full-time. So
What kind of bus do you have?
it's a 2007 International Crystal Coach.
Now, have you finished it? Or?
No, I haven't even started on it.
Oh, wow.
No. Haven't even started. I wanted to get it done as soon as possible, but I ran into some difficulties finding the right people to do the work that needs to be done. I need an electrician, I need a plumber, I need a carpenter. And unfortunately, those things were kind of hard to come by. Either most electricians, plumbers, or carpenters had never worked on the inside of a vehicle before, so they didn't want to touch it. Or I had people that I know that have the skills, but just weren't available and weren't reliable. So, yeah, so you run into those kind of issues. But, yeah, so right now that's on the back burner. We're still trying to downsize and sell everything, and, yeah, we're still in that phase.
Well, good luck with that. That's a labor of love. I pulled it out of the field.
Yeah.
And it hadn't ran for, about 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
I just got it licensed the other day.
Oh, wow.
So,
What year is it?
1984.
Okay. It looks in great condition for that age.
Well, I tell you what, it looked like the bottom of a boat that you pull out of the sea. It had barnacles all over
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Oh, you did a lot of work on it then.
Well, I got it running.
Yeah.
And for $300, it took me. I had to pull teeth just to get the title.
Oh, I believe it.
Because it didn't have the title was destroyed. But that's what we were gonna do Route 66 in.
Yeah.
Now that they have, you can see all 48 states. They have it mapped out. The most easiest way to hit all 48 states. Some Google engineer calculated the distances and the efficiency and the time to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like 12,900 some miles, and it takes you, all around all 48 states.
Yeah.
To all the great places you want to see. And you can do it in, I guess somebody did it in like a couple months' time and just had a glorious
Really?
vacation. But we want to put, 12, 13,000 miles on this thing.
Yeah.
And I speak for him. Maybe he doesn't want to, but I do.
He's going wherever you go.
Yeah. And it'll probably take twice as long because we got to make the stops.
Right.
But yeah, we just got 2 new tires on the front, which was about $800.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do the 2 rears and some other stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, we're just kind of breaking it in and.
So this is her first maiden voyage.
Huh?
This was her first maiden voyage.
I guess you could say that. We're giving it. I was putting her through the test yesterday on the inclines and these hills.
Okay.
And
she handles pretty good.
well, for a box on wheels, what do you expect?
Right.
I was really, really surprised that it actually ran. And I had to do a little work to the motor to get there. But,
Okay.
this is, as you can see, it needs the marker lens there and the marker lens there. But we drive during the day and try to. I just found out I got to do the tail light too. I went out last night. Yeah. This is, if we see you in May, we might see you in this.
Yeah.
But when you have a bus, you talk about your bus. It's not hard to do that work yourself if you have the willingness to, take the risk to learn it,
Yeah.
And I hadn't ever changed an oil, the oil in a vehicle before. And I jumped right into changing the engine in a vehicle.
Wow.
I spent the entire winter. I bought a 79 T-Bird, Ford Thunderbird, with a blown motor in it that was in like showroom condition. And this couple would drive it from, I lived in Kansas City at the time. They drove it from Kansas City to Florida during the winter. And their engine blew a piston.
Wow.
And they had it sitting for a couple years, and he, put it in the newspaper. He didn't have internet at the time. This was 1993. I saw this vehicle, and I'm like, I had, a couple $1,000. And I was newly sober at the time, freshly minted from quitting drinking.
Okay.
And I'm like, I really need to do this. I love this car. It looks so beautiful. It's a Thunderbird. Has a moonroof, So I'm going to one of those 12-step things, and I'm just talking to a friend. He's like, yeah, I work at Advanced Auto Parts, or whatever it was at the time. And he's like, dude, I'll help you out. So I spent, about $1,000 on a new engine. And it came in a crate, and it, here it is in my driveway.
Yeah.
And we're renting an engine hoist. So for the next 2 months, and my daughter was 2.5 at the time. I'm in my mom's garage with heaters going, and it's the middle of the winter. And my daughter's learning what a wrench is. Hand me the wrench, honey. And she would hand me a wrench.
Right.
Hand me a screwdriver.
Right.
She's loving it. I'm in the garage. I'm sober. I'm learning how to change an engine. And if I have any problems, I just go to a meeting and, hey, I run into a snag here. What do I do?
Right.
He'd either tell me or he'd come, and he'd maybe spend a half hour and tell me what to do. Now, see, I've got skills with, mechanical aptitudes. I just had never changed them. So intimidating.
Yeah.
But by the time spring came, the only thing that needed done was the muffler needed welding. And I went to the welder, and he fixed it up. And that thing sounded perfect.
Oh, my goodness. I can imagine.
Now, I was like, after I did that, I can do anything.
Yeah. Right.
I bought a house, and I was like, I don't know anything about plumbing, or, I've got a job as a maintenance mechanic, and that gave me some more confidence. But it's really not hard to, take 2 wires because it's already there on the fixture, and then rewire it and go from like a regular halogen bulb to an LED. The plumbing, that's always simple. I mean, plumbing's just like, did you play with Tinker Toys or anything like that when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You got the primer as a kid.
Well,
Carpeting, the wood, when you have a floor, you want to get that laminate or that tongue and groove stuff. When you're doing walls, you can watch YouTube and there's all kinds of...
Absolutely. There's millions of videos out there. My only thing is, this is for me. Yes, I do have some skills. I do know how to do some things, and I'm not intimidated by trying new things or learning new things. But for me, this is going to be my home, and I want it done right. And it's not that I don't trust myself, but I don't trust myself with that kind of a project. I want it done professionally, and I want it done right, and I want to know that when I'm on the road, that it's sound, that it's safe. You know, it's not going to explode on me. Wires are not going to start burning somewhere or whatever. With this project, I want it done right. I want it done professionally. Anything else, I'll probably tackle that. And I probably could do it. I have some physical limitations. Right now, I'm standing here on a lot of medication, but I have sciatica. So normally I have difficulty standing, walking, and sitting. But I've taken some medication for this particular project today. So that's why I'm able to stand here for this long period of time, because otherwise I'd be on the ground. I'd be wanting to lay down, seriously. So that kind of hinders me taking on a project that big.
Right.
Because I know that I have some physical difficulties.
Gotcha.
So.
Did you have somebody to help you?
No, and like I said, that's been the problem. I know people who have the skills.
So you don't have a significant other that's...
No.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
Well...
Are you kidding? This wouldn't even be a problem if that was the case. This would not be an issue if that was the case. Yeah.
Well, that bus is sitting there, and I hope you can find somebody to help you out with that.
Yeah.
You could probably find somebody that wants to, like how people, if you have a trip planned and you get a sponsor, or you wear, you put their logo on your camper, that would be the next route I'd look at.
Yeah.
Especially if you have like a disability or something like that. And maybe you can do some fundraising and work that into the deal. When
That's an idea.
I was doing Route 66, when I started, I was going to try to do a blog and raise some awareness for veterans issues and stuff like that. And it didn't work out, of course. But that was where my thinking went. Like, how am I going to finance this? If I want to stay somewhere for a month, if I get stranded for a month, what am I going to do? Well, if some of these people, they start a YouTube channel or they have a blog. There's one guy, he started traveling on a bicycle in, I think, Africa.
Okay.
And then he ended up, he's doing a tour. And he might have had a couple hundred followers. But then he ends up, getting sponsors from, somebody that makes bicycle helmets.
Right.
And different gear.
Right.
He's got 1 million followers.
Yeah.
And he travels the world on a bicycle. And he does these tours.
Yeah.
So, and he gets paid to do it.
Yeah. A lot of the YouTubers, either they get paid from the channel, from YouTube itself, or they get donations from their viewers through Patreon or PayPal or, so that's not unheard of. And some of them have branded their channels and they're selling merchandise and stuff.
Right.
So they're making money that way also.
Yeah, I should make my own merchandise. But, the thing is if somebody, I don't know how many followers you have, but say you have a student or somebody that's starting off in business, and they have an opportunity to do something like your bathroom in your RV.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll do it for free. Maybe they'll do it discounted.
Mm-hmm.
If it's right for them, because if it shows that they can get more business and get their name out, it's a plus for them. So you turn around on that avenue, and then you're like, wow, I just got my bathroom done. I just got my bedroom done.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got something in my RV from a thrift store. They,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you had some furniture or
Right.
some design in there.
Right. Yeah. You've got a lot of YouTubers who are making money that way too. They built their van or their bus or whatever, and now they're doing it for other people. But I guess as this has grown and more people are kind of moving to this lifestyle, especially with COVID, with the onset of COVID, it's big business. And so now when they were at one time probably willing to do it for free or do it for less, not anymore.
Right.
Some of the people that I've talked to about doing some work on my bus, they want ridiculous amounts of money. I'm like, are you serious? Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, this I'm doing all myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've got, I look online and watched a lot of videos, talked to a lot of people, saw a lot of buses, just as a campground host. And, you ask, hey, can I take a look and see what you did?
Right.
And they'll show me, their custom work. And it's amazing what you can do.
Yeah.
But like you said, you want to do it right.
Right.
And I totally, absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. When I stop this video, I'm going to show you my bus. And I want the inside to look just as beautiful as the outside. It's not a school bus.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that when you told me.
Yeah. It's not a school bus. And, I chose that particular style bus because it fits my style. And so just as luxurious as it is on the outside, I want the inside to be even more of a reflection. I don't want it to look like a bunch of 12-year-olds put it together.
Right.
So
I was thinking copper tub. They make copper tubs if you have a couple grand.
Yeah. No, I don't want the copper tub. Matter of fact, I don't want any tub. A shower will do. We're talking about maximizing the space. I don't need a tub. But there are some buses that do have the copper tubs in there, and they're nice. They're nice. I don't want one. Yeah.
Well, it needs work, but the thing, like you said, I want to have the outside that looks like, okay, it's a camper, but when you walk inside,
Yeah.
it's like, wow.
Wow. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I had a 1965 Shasta trailer.
Mm-hmm.
They called them a ham can.
Mm-hmm.
And, I spent, a month and just, used scrap wood and then bought some, maybe, $50 to $100 worth of lighting and materials.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it basically, at the end of the day, you had a van that changed color, or a camper that changed colors from the inside.
Okay.
So it was all neon lights that changed colors.
Uh-huh.
And a big screen TV and, an area that looked, wow, this is like a freaking entertainment.
Yeah.
Camper,
Yeah.
But, it was just fiddling around. And I didn't even really have the right tools, but I made sure it worked.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I bought it for $100 and turned around and sold it for nearly $1,000.
Awesome.
But I like working with my hands, and it might take me 2 years, but eventually I'll redo the roof, maybe even put a couple skylights in.
Yeah.
I'm going to go from that kind of AC to an idea I have on a radiator that goes underneath the camper.
Okay.
Stays cool and just uses 12-volt fans to recirculate cool air through the thing without air conditioning.
Okay. Does your air conditioner currently work?
It does, but I mean, you need 120 volts for that. And I would like to make this to where I could take a solar panel and have batteries to be able to run on batteries.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing. I've got 5 panels that I'm going to put up top. And on the other half, I want to do like a rooftop garden. I want to grow my own fruits and vegetables. Yeah. So.
A rooftop garden. Now, how would you do that without it blowing away?
Well, I've got a couple of ideas. I'm working on some designs, and I also want to put a water collection system on the bus.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I would like to have a water collection system. Do away with the septic tank. 'Cause you don't need a septic tank.
You don't.
I think that's kind of a...
It's a pain in the butt. Is what it is. Yeah.
You know, tear that out.
Yeah.
The generator.
Yeah.
That's like an anchor.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll give me 120 volts to run AC, but I'm also sucking up gas.
Right.
You know, but there's a lot of green ideas I'd like to put into this.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to have a wind generator, solar, and pedal. I want to have something where I can sit down and pedal
And create
my
energy.
television.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not watching 6 hours of television. I'm watching an hour of television as I'm pedaling.
Yeah. You. How you doing?
That was just a crazy idea. I was like, when I was riding a bicycle, I had a Toyota motorhome. It was a small Mini. And I thought, you know, I went to all these parks up north, and I'm thinking, you know, if I had that pedal, I wouldn't be sitting here watching TV for hours. I'd be limiting myself. I'd still be pedaling.
All right.
It's like
Getting your exercise in all at the same time. Staying healthy.
Only works when you're exercising.
All right. All right.
Kind of get from being a couch potato.
Yeah.
You are a good boy.
Yes, he is.
I need to brush you out, don't I?
Now you do. He's been rolling. Isn't that right? All right. Well, I'm going to finish this little walk down the
Show me a picture
trail here, and then I'll stop back by and chat with you more about the bus.
Would you like some lunch?
I'm not going to stay that long. Again, I've got a long drive home, but I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Thank you so much. What is your name, by the way?
Oh, my name's Byron.
Byron?
Byron Johnson.
And I'm Sherry. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
it's
you.
a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
And what was your channel again?
I'm going to share that with you when I'm done. Okay. Let me finish this video. All right. Okay, guys. This is site number 8. This one also is by the pit toilets. It's a nice little view in the background, but I don't like it. It's too short of a drive in. There's too many trees in that area for my tents. And then Byron here is at number 9, and you guys see his spot. He's got a nice little view on the other side. This one is number 10. That one. Yeah, I don't like this one either. It's not deep enough. I like something that extends a little bit further back. This one is 11. Again, it's got a nice view in the back, and it's got the ledge back there that you can stand on. The view probably isn't as clear once the trees get a little leaves on them. They might be blocking the view a bit. But this is the one, the last one here, is the one that I think I'm the most interested in because it's the furthest away and it's more secluded. There's no other site on this side. It's all wooded, and it's all wooded on this side of the camp. So the only neighbor I would have to contend with is that one over there. And that's a nice little distance. This is number 12. This is the one that I'm going to be vying for. What is this right here? Okay, so you can reserve a spot. Proof of payment of recreation fee. 10/23 to 11/23. Okay. This is the one I think I want. Is this the furthest away? The most secluded, and it's plenty of space to put my tents, and I could put my hammock right between these two trees. And because my neighbor aren't right up on top of me, I've got some privacy. Yay. So yeah, guys, this video took a whole new twist from the original plan, but that's okay. Got to get some information and meet somebody new, and yeah, we shall see. Maybe Byron and I will meet up again here one day. We'll see. All right, guys, you have a great day. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and encourage others to do the same. I will see you guys in the next video. Be blessed. Bye-bye.